Hello everyone, Colethehitman here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. And in this gameplay commentary, I will be talking about weapon balance and the use of weapons in Team Fortress 2. And there's two weapons on my list that I want to talk about in this video, mostly because they come up in this video. And the first one is, which is the weapon I have out at that moment, was the Loch and Load, a grenade launcher for the Demo Man. What? A Demo Man getting an explosive item to use? That's nonsense. Where's another? We need another sword. We need a shield of some sort. We need a sword and a shield, and a sword shield that does both things at once. But anyhow, the Loch and Load. Most people see this weapon as overpowered, but I'm on the fence with this weapon. Just in regards of how the weapon stats play out, and we'll talk about the most overpowered thing about this weapon, and that's it does 103 minimum and 147 maximum, and there is no scale of splash damage because it's hard to get splash damage with this weapon, and the reason being is you can only direct hit people with this weapon because the launched bombs will shatter on any other surface. You can get splash damage off of other players, you can get splash damage off of buildings such as dispensers or sentries, but you know, there's no scale for that. It's probably around 100 or 80 itself. But the point is, this weapon does ridiculous damage, with mini crits being 138 minimum and 198 maximum, and critical hits being 342 minimum and 388 maximum. The other stats for this weapon is 10% damage done, which we've already covered, 25% projectile speed, making it like the direct hit for the soldier, but you will do 25% damage to yourself. So if you hit someone who's beside you, you can end up doing around 70 damage to yourself. And to elaborate more on this weapon, in chokes and in small hallways, this weapon becomes, you know, one-shot kills or two-shot kills, because it can one-shot a scout. It can almost one-shot a medic. But you have to get the direct hits, and to balance this weapon out more, I think if they were ever to balance it, if they found it overpowered themselves, I would say make 10% reload. It takes 10% longer to reload this weapon, because then you wouldn't be able to spam it as much, and you would have to hold the shots, the two shots that you have, which do ridiculous damage. You would have to hold them, which would make a lot more sense to me. But I'm on the fence with this weapon. I really enjoy using it. I don't use it often. I usually end up just using the regular grenade launcher. And the second weapon I'm going to talk about is the Thompson 6000. And the Thompson 6000 I am not on the fence for. The Thompson 6000 is absolutely ridiculous. It is for the engineer, if you don't know. I'm sure everyone has heard of this weapon, but for those of you who haven't, it's a laser projectile weapon, like the Righteous Bison or the Cow Mangler, but more like the Righteous Bison, because these projectiles will penetrate a target. And right there, I just got critted with it halfway across the map, one shot. So this weapon will do 17 damage minimum at point blank and 63 damage maximum at point blank. You can one-shot people with this weapon though at point blank. The reason being is if someone's backing up, they take multiple hits from this weapon. I think the max times you can hit someone is 4 with projectiles, and 4 times 63 is, math has never been my strength. At medium range and long range, this weapon does a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 42, and depending on if they're backing up, they take more hits from this weapon. And this is not the weapon, this is not why the weapon is overpowered in any sense. Projectiles cannot be deflected by pyros. They penetrate enemies. And the reason this weapon is overpowered is because on hit, victim loses 20% cloak. So if you hit a spy who has a dead ringer, he can no longer use his dead ringer. If you hit a spy who's just running around with a regular watch or anything, and you hit him, he can, that's 20% cloak off of his cloak meter. And I mean, that's kind of fair in regards that it's always been engineer versus spy, and this kind of balances out, because the dead ringer is one of those weapons that is also thought of as overpowered because of the 60% damage reduction. but 20% cloak is 20% cloak. Now, the main reason this weapon is overpowered is what it does to medics. It defiles medics. It makes medics want to go home and cry to their mothers, because it takes 10% uber charge off of medics. If you hit a medic once with this weapon, they lose 10% uber charge. So, in a competitive sense, a medic is almost ready to deploy uber. He gets hit once, now he has to wait another 5 seconds. 3 to 5 seconds. Or he's in the middle of a crit streak and he gets hit once by this weapon. He loses 10%, which is basically a second off his crit streak. It's a very scary weapon to be playing against as a medic. Like, just when you felt safe and secure, you're about to go all shiny and, you know, bring hope to your team, you get hit with this and all of a sudden you feel like a little girl again. That's basically what it does to medics. And in that regard, that is why it is overpowered. The uber charge has always been a main feature in the game's mechanics. It is what a lot of the game revolves around. Even in pubs, you can't really win without a medic. But this weapon just, you know, kind of takes it away from it. If you have 2 engineers on a pub with this weapon, they're not going to have any uber charges if those engineers know what they're doing. So, in that sense, Thompson 6000, maybe remove the medic 10% uber charge loss. Maybe keep the 20% cloak. Maybe reduce it to 10% cloak loss. But remove that uber charge. And even it just being a laser weapon, this is still ridiculous. And I remember when the Cow Mangler first came out and it being ridiculous. And they got nerfed, and now it's just dirt. That's probably what they're going to end up doing to this weapon. They're going to nerf it, and it's going to be dirt. So, just a heads up on that. So, as I'm running out of topics to talk about on these 2 weapons, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what's happening with these videos and what's happening with me. And with these videos, I will be continuing them until something huge happens. And what's happening with me at this moment is that in around a week's time, I'm not sure the date yet, but I will be going to a camp for 50 days to work. And no, it does not mean my videos are coming to an end. It just means I won't be putting out videos for 50 days, which is a very scary prospect for me, because what if I come back and I'm like, I'm not going to do it, which I don't think I will, but it is a possibility. What if I lose a hand and then I can't type or use my mouse is my thing, right? Also, 50 days is a long time without me making videos, so in that regard, that's happening with me. But as my YouTube hopefully grows, and I get more videos out, and more people like my vapidness and my pedancy for all these videos, hopefully I will be doing better stuff with them. Like, I haven't even come out with an outro, and my friend pointed that out to me. He's like, you gotta come up with an outro, because you just keep not knowing what you're gonna say, which is 80% of this video, I swear, is me not knowing what to say. And that's particular because it's post-commentaries. I want to do live commentaries, but my recording thing just doesn't work. It won't, and it just makes me so mad sometimes, but hey, I can do it for Cthulhu Plays the World, but when I try to do it on this, I get some crazy feedback that makes it sound like dubstep, and you don't want to listen to dubstep on a Tf2 video, do you? Do you? You do, don't you? Don't lie to me, you do. How dare you? Anywho, yes, so I'm hopefully going to be coming up with an outro. I might try a couple things in the video, and if they make you facepalm or not want to be associated with me anymore, I totally understand. And also intros, like video intros. I want to do intros. And being Colethehitman, I want to do something regarding with a hitman. But yeah, this is coming to the end of the video. Colethehitman signing off, and remember, I have you.